Las Vegas and Macau, two of the biggest gambling cities in the world. One, a neon-lit oasis in the Nevada desert, and the other, a former Portuguese colony turned global gambling powerhouse. Together, these cities generate hundreds of billions of dollars annually from casinos, luxury tourism, and high-stakes gambling. But how do they make so much money? Today, we're breaking down the economics of gambling cities, how they attract the world's wealthiest gamblers, the psychology behind casino profits, and why Macau earns 7 times more than Las Vegas in gaming revenue. And here's the big question: is gambling really just entertainment, or is it an economic machine designed to extract wealth? Let's start with how Las Vegas built an empire on risk. Las Vegas wasn't always the entertainment capital of the world. In the early 1900s, it was just a small desert railroad stop in Nevada. Gambling had been illegal in the U.S. for decades, but that changed in 1931 when Nevada legalized gambling to boost its economy during the Great Depression. This decision transformed Las Vegas almost overnight. Casino operators and mobsters saw an opportunity to turn this remote town into a gambling paradise. With the construction of Hoover Dam bringing thousands of workers and the legalization of gambling, Las Vegas quickly grew into a casino hotspot. The real boom came in the 1950s and 60s when casino moguls built glamorous resorts on the Las Vegas Strip. They understood that gambling alone wasn't enough. Entertainment, fine dining, and luxury experiences were just as important. The strategy worked. Las Vegas became a billion-dollar industry, attracting visitors from around the world. By the 1990s, Las Vegas had fully rebranded from a mafia-run gambling city to a family-friendly entertainment hub, featuring mega resorts like the Bellagio, with its world-famous fountains, the Venetian, bringing the charm of Italy to the desert, and Caesar's Palace, where Roman-themed luxury meets high-stakes gambling. Today, Las Vegas generates over $40 billion annually, with gambling contributing about half of that revenue. But while Vegas was once the undisputed king of gambling, it isn't the world's biggest gambling city anymore. That title belongs to Macau, a city that has completely redefined how casinos make money. While Las Vegas was booming in the 20th century, Macau remained a quiet, Portuguese-controlled territory. But everything changed in 1999, when Macau was handed back to China and became a special administrative region, much like Hong Kong. The Chinese government saw an opportunity. Macau would become China's official gambling hub. In 2002, the government ended the local gambling monopoly and opened the market to foreign investors, including Las Vegas casino giants like MGM, Wynn, and Sands. The results were staggering. Macau rapidly became the world's largest gambling destination, surpassing Las Vegas in 2007. Unlike Las Vegas, which caters to casual tourists, Macau built its empire on high-stakes gambling. The city's casinos don't just attract visitors looking for a fun night out. They cater to ultra-wealthy gamblers from mainland China who arrive in Macau with millions of dollars to spend. These high rollers, also known as VIP players, account for over 60% of Macau's gaming revenue. A key reason for Macau's financial dominance is its junket system. Junkets are middlemen who recruit wealthy gamblers from China, fly them to Macau, and lend them millions in gambling credit. These VIP players then gamble in exclusive private rooms, betting amounts that would be unimaginable in Las Vegas. Unlike the casual slots players who fill Vegas casinos, Macau's clientele place multi-million-dollar bets on a single hand of baccarat, a game that dominates the casino floors. With fewer entertainment distractions than Las Vegas, Macau makes 90% of its revenue from gambling alone. The combination of high betting limits, a steady stream of high rollers, and a tax structure that ensures the government takes a significant cut of casino profits has made Macau the undisputed leader in the gambling industry. But here's the real economic genius behind these cities. It's not just about gambling itself, but how casinos are designed to keep players spending. Let's break that down. Gambling is one of the most profitable businesses in the world, and that's no accident. Everything in a casino, from the layout to the lighting to the sounds, is designed to keep people inside and spending money. There are no clocks and no windows, which means players lose track of time. Without any reference to the outside world, it's easy to keep gambling long after you plan to stop. Free drinks, comped rooms, and luxury perks aren't just acts of generosity from the casino, they're calculated investments. The longer a gambler stays, the more money they'll likely lose. And casinos know that a small investment in perks pays off in massive profits. Casino layouts are deliberately confusing, designed like a maze so that guests must pass rows of slot machines just to find the exit. And speaking of slot machines, they are carefully engineered to keep players hooked. The sounds, the flashing lights, and the near-miss effects all make losing feel like a win. Slot machines use variable reward schedules, meaning you never know when the next big payout is coming. This unpredictability is what makes them so addictive. Even the way people place bets is designed to increase spending. Using chips instead of cash makes money feel less real, and cashless betting, like digital payments and credit lines, removes the immediate pain of losing money. Casinos know that if players don't physically see their money disappearing, they'll spend more of it. All of these psychological tricks combine to make gambling cities incredibly profitable. But how do they impact the economies of Las Vegas and Macau as a whole? Casinos don't just make money for themselves, they fuel entire local economies. In Las Vegas, the gambling industry employs over 300,000 people, from casino workers and hotel staff to entertainers and construction workers. The city's economy is built around attracting visitors, with more than 40 million people traveling to Vegas every year. Macau, on the other hand, is even more reliant on gambling. Nearly 20% of the local population works directly in casinos, and the government collects 35% tax on casino profits, making gambling revenue the backbone of Macau's economy. But this economic dependence comes with risks. When the COVID-19 pandemic forced Macau to close its casinos, the city's economy collapsed by more than 50% overnight. Unlike Las Vegas, which has diversified into entertainment and conventions, Macau remains heavily reliant on gambling, and its economy is vulnerable to disruptions. Beyond economic dependence, there's also a darker side to gambling cities: problem gambling, money laundering, and organized crime. Gambling cities generate enormous wealth, but they also come with major controversies. Problem gambling is a real issue, with addiction destroying lives and families. In Macau, an estimated 6% of residents suffer from gambling addiction. And in Las Vegas, thousands of visitors leave the city financially ruined every year. Then there's the issue of money laundering. Some junket operators in Macau have been linked to organized crime, helping wealthy gamblers move money out of mainland China. Governments around the world are cracking down on these practices. But as long as there are high-stakes gamblers, there will be ways to bypass financial regulations. The big question is whether gambling cities can survive long-term, or if they're too dependent on an industry built on risk. Las Vegas and Macau have built massive economies on risk and entertainment. But with the rise of online gambling and new casino hubs emerging around the world, will these cities remain at the top? One thing's certain. Whether you see gambling as entertainment or an economic machine, it's one of the most profitable industries in history. And for cities built on risk, the gamble is still paying off.